Today my topic is about listening. So listening skill is the most important skill in language. So you have four skills in a language. So first stands listening. So listening, reading, writing, and speaking are the four skills that is to be developed when you learn a new language. So listening is a skill which is related on the ability. So listening is the ability to accurately receive message in the communication process. So listening is key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood. Communication breaks down and the sender of the message can easily become frustrated or irritated. So listening is so important that many top employers give regular listening skill training for their employees. So this is not surprising when you consider that listening skills can lead to better customer satisfaction, greater productivity with fewer mistakes, increased sharing of information that in return can lead to more creative and innovative works. So good listening skill also have benefits in our personal lives, including a greater number of good friends and social networks, improved self-esteem and confidence, higher grades in academic work, and increased health and well-being. So studies have shown that whereas speaking raises blood pressure and listening brings it down. So listening is not the same as hearing. There is a difference between listening and hearing. So hearing refers to the sounds that you hear, whereas listening requires more than that. So it requires focus. Listening means paying attention not only to the story but how it is told, the use of the language and voice, and how the other person uses or her body. Yes, the body language is one important thing that you should understand when you listen to a person. So in other words, it means being aware of both verbal and non-verbal messages. So your ability to listen effectively depends on the degree to which you perceive and understand the message. The most basic and powerful way to connect to another person is to listen. So perhaps the most important thing we ever give each other is our attention. So listening is most important skill that has to be enhanced. Most people, most of the time, take listening for granted. It is something that just happens. No, it is only when you stop to think about listening and what it entails that you begin to realize. So, that listening is, in fact, an important skill that needs to be nurtured and developed. Listening is perhaps the most important of all interpersonal skills that has to be um, developed. So, effective listening or listening is very often the foundation of strong relationship with others at home, socially, in education, and in the workplace. So, listening is something, it is the process of receiving, constructing, and responding to someone, both verbally and non-verbally. Yes, so listening is the process of receiving, constructing the meaning from, and responding to spoken or non-verbal messages. So listening is of different types and it has different stages. So listening process, if you take the listening process, hearing, focusing on a message, comprehending, analyzing, responding, remembering. So these are the few stages of listening. So whereas if you see, when you hear something and when you focus on the message, you start your listening part. So listening is not a granted one. Yes, you need concentration. Hearing is different. Hearing is just sounds, and listening is concentrating on, that is what I mean as focusing on the message. So when you focus, concentrate on the speaker and you listen, you can comprehend, you can understand, and then you can also be able to interpret it. Yes, so when you are able to do this stage, that is understanding and interpreting, is done, analyzing will be very easy. You'll start analyzing whatever you understand, and you will be able to evaluate it whether it is right or wrong, and you can respond to the questions, or you can give feedback about it. Yes, and when these things happens, remembering will happen. Yes, when we learn it, when we understand it, when we analyze it, we remember it. Yes, so listening is concentrating on a work, concentrating on the speaker, and getting the points. So when you listen it, the listening, the understanding, the message get into our mind, whereas when you just hear it, it will be just mere a sound. So learning or practicing listening is very very essential and very important, and what we gain with this listening skill is very important. And let us see what and how we can develop our listening skill, and why it is so important to be a good listener or effective listener.